Hello everyone, I am Siddharthan. In this video, let's understand how we can deploy a Streamlit web app on Google Colaboratory as a public app so that anyone on the internet can access this. For this, we will be working on the multiple disease prediction system app that we have created, where the user can select between the diabetes prediction, heart disease prediction, or the Parkinson's prediction page, where they can give in these values and get a prediction for this. I'll give you the link of the video where I've explained in detail about creating this app, training the model and so on. So you can refer to that, but I'll just go ahead and deploy this model as that's today's focus for us. And I'll also give this GitHub repository that contains all the required files and code in order to build the Streamlit app. So you have this app.py file, which is the code to build the Streamlit app, load the models, trained models, and so on. And you will also see this saved underscore model directory, which has the trained models. So you can use this one, or you can again go ahead and train your own models with some other data as well. So I've given all those collab files, the Jupyter notebook files, and the dataset over here, right? If you even want to deploy some other Streamlit app, you can do that by just following the same process. And the advantage of doing this is it's completely free, first of all. And in Google Colaboratory, we know that we get GPU environment. So even if you are building a Streamlit app with a neural network, so even that should be good because we can access these GPUs. And again, if you are going with cloud platforms like Azure or AWS, in order to deploy this, you may have to kind of pay some money for this, right? But this is completely free. All you have to do is just keep this Colaboratory running, that kind of deploy this. Okay, so that's what we are going to do today, and let's discuss this. And this is like a very simple process, so this just has like 10-15 lines of code to do that. So let's see. So what I'm currently doing here is I'm cloning the repository directly to the Google Colab environment where I have this multiple disease prediction app, which is basically the clone of this repository that I've showed you. So if you want, you can also kind of upload this app.py file and the some other models that you are building for like some other Streamlit app that you are working on. So that is the first step. So if you want to test this out, I'll give the link of this Colaboratory as well, a Colaboratory file. So you can just go ahead and run all these cells. So that should also work. So first step is cloning the repository. So you can see that I've already cloned and I have all the files over here. And the next step is installing the required packages and the libraries. So first we need to install this Ngrok, Ngrok. So Ngrok is a tool that basically tunnels kind of your local environment to a public URL. So it's like you can connect your local server for public use. So that's why this Ngrok is used. And how this entire architecture works is we deploy the Streamlit app on the local environment of Google Colaboratory, and we tunnel this local environment port to public, right? So basically it's like tunneling for public use, and it kind of has this URL that anyone can access. So that's like the concept of this. So for this we need this Ngrok tool, and we need like an authorization token, and we will be using a Python wrapper for this Ngrok, which is this PyNgrok. So I'm installing that. And our Streamlit app kind of requires some libraries. Say for example, we have this Streamlit and Streamlit option menu. OS and Pickle are like pre-installed, so we don't need that. So we need Pickle, Streamlit, and Streamlit option menu, and also scikit-learn in order to get predictions for this model and so on, right? So those things are mentioned in this requirements.txt file. So you can see it over here, right? So we have numpy, scikit-learn, Streamlit, and Streamlit option menu. So that's what is present in this requirements.txt. So for installing all these libraries present in this file, I'm doing a pip install r requirements.txt with a complete path. So if you are putting this in a subdirectory, and if there is like some space in the name of this directory, you need to kind of include this in quotes. So that's why I've put it over here. If not, you can just kind of run it without any code. So that shouldn't be a problem. So run this. Again, I've already installed this particular libraries, and the next step is importing all the required libraries. So here we have this OS, which is again a pre-install library, and threading is also kind of comes as a inbuilt library. So from threading we are import thread. So thread basically in computing, it's kind of a sequence of programming commands that we run, and the reason that we are using this thread is we will run the Streamlit run command. Again, if you have worked on Streamlit, right? So once you have built this app.py, you will run this Streamlit app using the command Streamlit run on your terminal. And in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to use this threading to run the Streamlit run command in the backend, or maybe you can say in the background, this Streamlit run command will run, which will start our web app. And from this local web app, we will tunnel it using Ngrok for a kind of public access. So that's the process. So that's why we are importing this thread from threading, and then we have this Ngrok being imported from PyNgrok. The next step is setting up the authorization token. So for this, you need to create an account in Ngrok. So go to Google, search Ngrok dashboard. So you will see this Ngrok dashboard site. So go here. So you need to sign up for an account. So you can sign up with your Google account. So I have already done that. And in this Ngrok dashboard, right? So you will see this tunnels option in the left navigation bar. And within that tunnel, you will have this auth tokens. So this is where you can get your authorization token. So these are the ones that I have already created. So if you want to create a new token, go to this add tunnel auth token. And here you can give some description like authorization token for your Streamlit app or something, and just leave the other things as is, and give this save. So this will give you the authorization token. So you can just copy this, or you can copy and close this and paste it over here, right? So once you do that, and run this particular cell where we have this Ngrok set authorization token. So this will kind of basically to authorize you with this particular Ngrok account. So run this particular cell, and next is we are creating a function that will run this command. As I said, in order to kind of start your Streamlit web app, you need to run this Streamlit run app.py command on your terminal. So here we are going to use the function os.system, which basically runs a command on shell, which basically runs the shell commands, and we are going to do that over here. So this function is used for that purpose. So when you call that this particular function, so this command will be executed. So it's os.system Streamlit run app.py. So it basically requires app.py, but my app.py is in like kind of this subfolder. So that's why I'm giving like the entire path of this. So we have Streamlit run content multiple spread the folder path, and finally we have this app.py, and we are saying that server.port 8501. So we are saying that this is the port on which my Streamlit app should run. So so once we have this Streamlit app web app running on this port, we can tunnel it with Ngrok. So that's the idea, and that's why we need to mention the port. But this is like the default port that it will run in your local PC as well if you try it. So this is the next step. So I've kind of like already ran this particular cell as well. You can see over here, and then we are creating a thread. You can see it. So thread is equal to this thread that we are imported over here, and basically we are going to run this command on the background using this threading. So here within this thread, I'm calling this parameter target. I'm passing this function which is run Streamlit. So this basically runs this shell command as a thread basically in the background, so that we can execute the other other scripts that we have. So we are passing this thread with the run Streamlit function and starting this process in the background. So once this is done, and then we can run this ngrok.connect. So until this step, what would happen is we run this, and we would have started our Streamlit app on the local environment, or yeah, in the local environment of Google Colaboratory, which runs on 8501. Now we need to map this or tunnel this to the Ngrok, where for this we are using this ngrok.connect and giving the address as 8501, and saying that the protocol should be HTTP, and bind TLS is just for security purpose. So it's like transfer layer security, and we are giving this true in order to have a secured connection, and then just printing the public URL. So you just need to kind of run all these cells. So that is all it takes. So, and the process is basically like you have a Streamlit app that is tested on your local, and you set up the authorization token for the Ngrok account, and then you're running this shell command on a thread, and finally connect your port to Ngrok tunnel. So that is all that we are doing, which is that really simple, and you will get this public URL that anyone can access this. So let's say that you are building like a cool application and you want to share it to someone. I mean, let's say that it's on your local, but you want to share it to someone to test it out, right? So in that case, you can deploy this with this particular approach, and then just send this particular URL to them. So this is the URL that we have over here, and then we have this particular page. So here I can just give in some random values and get a prediction for this. So I'll give this number of pregnancies to glucose 100. Let's say blood pressure value is 120. Skin thickness value, I'm just putting some random values. Let's say insulin is also 100, BMI is 26, and diabetes pedigree function would be in float values, and finally let's say the age is 25. You can give this diabetes test result. So this says the person is not diabetic with the model that we have already trained. So similarly you can test it out with the heart disease prediction, Parkinson's prediction, and so on. Again, if you want to get a clear understanding of this particular Streamlit app, the model training and so on, I'll give that video's link in this video description. You can check that out. So I hope everyone is clear until this part. So you can definitely try this code out. And let's say that you want to stop this Ngrok execution, because this won't allow you to run multiple apps on concurrence. So for that you can just run this ngrok.kill, so that will kill all the tunnels that are present, and then you can basically like run some other Streamlit app. So that's the process. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear until this point. So I'll share you this Google Colaboratory code, so you can just try this out. So that's it from my side, and I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching.